championship hopes to be eliminated at the end of qualifying, but this is going to help a lot. A 3:82 elapsed time gets him in the #1 spot.
Larry Dixon with his eyes on a championship, currently 4th, and Antron Brown currently 3rd. But Antron Brown doesn't get down the track and doesn't make it into the top 12 that will transfer over to the second session.
Next up, Spencer Massey, #1 in the points against Del Worsham, #2 in the points, only 2 points behind Spencer. But watch this run. They run pretty much identical. Del Worsham slightly quicker with that 3:83.0, and because of the little points, he now moves within 1 point of Spencer Massey.
And then, in the second session of qualifying, Antron Brown, once again, trying to get it in. Once again, no, he cannot. Don Schumacher saying, what is going on with my contender?
Next up, you're on board with Spencer Massey alongside of Morgan Lucas. Spencer Massey trying to improve on his qualifying. He's not able to do that. He runs a 3:85 elapsed time at 316 miles per hour and does not pick up any bonus points.
Here's Del Worsham and Tony Schumacher. Del Worsham took over the points lead. Tony Schumacher still looking for his first win of this year. What a shock that is. Worsham, a 3:83, a 3:89 for Tony Schumacher. They are going to stay #1 and #2.
And with that, Del Worsham takes over the point lead by 2 points.
And Antron Brown is still waiting to qualify, despite the fact that he is just 17 points back from the points lead in Top Fuel. Let's send you over to Dave Reeve.
2001 was the last time we had a Top Fuel champion not named Dixon or Schumacher. Will it be this man, Del Worsham? He's the point leader heading into this final day. But Del, this is a position in 21 years of racing you've not been in. You've seen it from afar. But how different is it living in the moment?
It's special. It's exciting. This race basically, is coming down to what's going to be the final day and what I believe could possibly become the final round of Sunday. So for Shake Khaled and Alan Johnson and this team, they've been in this position before. They've won from this position before, and personally, I like it. It's fun. Finally, after 21 years, I'm living a dream.
Right in his own backyard. Hey, have fun.
Yeah, the battle isn't only tight in Top Fuel. How about Funny Car? This is session 1.
Ron Capps alongside of Robert Height. Ron coming off that win in Las Vegas makes a nice run with a 4:12. But look at Robert Height go ahead of the class with a 4:08 elapsed time.
And that brings up Cruz Pedregon and Mike Neff, both contenders in the championship. Neff runs a 4:08 with a 7, good enough for second. Cruz Pedregon doesn't get down the track, doesn't qualify.
Next up, Matt Hagan, your points leader, alongside second in points, Jack Beckman. Jack smokes the tires. Matt Hagan goes down the track, runs a 4:13, but doesn't pick up any bonus points. Ends up in the 5th spot.
In the second session, here is Cruz Pedregon. He's trying once again to get into this field. Little trouble at the top end, a bit of a wiggle. Cruz runs a 4:44. That gets him in for now, but he'll be bumped later.
Next up, it's Alexis Ajoria and Jack Beckman. Jack needing desperately to get into this field. Both cars are going to go down the track. Alexis makes a nice run. Jack Beckman, he runs a 4:13 at 310 miles per hour, puts him in the 5th spot. No bonus points, but he's in the show.
Here is John Force. Tony Pedregon. Force has been struggling so hard this season. The finals here doesn't add to it. Big explosion. John Force, 4:31, 4:36 for Tony Pedregon. And John Force, in doing so, drives over the line. They throw it out. John Force has his problems, Mike.
Yes, he has. He's been struggling big time with that cylinders out and spinning the tires, and backfires a supercharger. And he's not in the show. So next up, we got Ron Capps and Matt Hagan. The teammates, Capps smokes the tires. Matt Hagan, look at that, a 4:08 at 310 miles per hour. That'll end up picking up 3 bonus points.
And if it stays, that's going to just be the best for Matt Hagan. But what about Robert Height and Mike Neff? They're up at the line now. Height, he runs a 4:10. It's a 4:12 for Mike Neff. Robert Height is number 1, and Mike Neff is number 2. And the guy that has really got his problems is 3rd in the points, but just like Antron Brown and Top Fuel, he is not yet qualified into this field. Let's go to John Turner.
For the second straight year, Matt Hagan comes into Pomona as the points leader in the battle for the Funny Car Championship. And Matt, I have a feeling things might be a little bit different. You guys seem a little more loose this year. Did you learn a lot from last year and losing the title to John Force on the last day that'll help you win it this year?
Well, it's a tough situation last year. I mean, we obviously don't want to go through that again, but this year, I think a lot of guys here realize that a lot of this stuff's out of our control. We're going to go up there and do the best job we can and let it unfold how it may.
And, of course, in qualifying, those little bonus points, as close as it is with he and his teammate Jack Beckman, those little bonus points could go a long way in determining the championship.
We'll be watching for Matt Hagan. Track temperature currently 32 degrees. This is the first pair of Funny Car. We mentioned them, John Force and Bob Bodie, and here after the 2 sessions is the way they lined up. We showed you the highlights. Height number 1, Neff, Hagan, down to 12th. They'll be adding in after 12th now.
That's because we carry over only the top 12 after 2 sessions. If you look at the cars that are not in, including the 2 on the line, Bob Bodie and John Force, obviously Cruz Petron really needs to make a good run right now in this session.
Boy, that is an impressive list of not qualified.
Well, right now, as you look at John Force, obviously they've been struggling quite a bit. The track conditions, you got cool track temperatures in the 70-degree range, so the track's very tight. I believe that they're going to want to run about a 4:15 lap time or quicker to really feel like they've got a shot at staying qualified in this field.
72 degrees, and they'll be adding in now. 12 are already in. This will be the first add to that 12-car field. Force gets her down, runs a 4:13, 308 miles an hour, moves in to the top half of the field at 6th. Bob Bodie is in, now 13th. And here are 2 Funny Car heavy hitters at the line, Ron Capps and Bob Tasca. Layers spinning a little bit over the track, clearing up. Mike Dunn said we were going to get all 4 qualifying sessions in. I guess I have to go with Mike now, though there is still a threat of rain off to the west. So Ron Capps, he's always racing something. Straight line, oval, he doesn't care. Last week he was at the Hot Rod reunion.
He just loves the race, period, but I think his favorite thing is drive fuel funny cars. He would definitely tell you that, and he's got to be happy right now. His confidence in his team with Tim and Kim Richards after winning that race in Las Vegas, and they're currently qualified in the number 5 spot, looking to improve on a 4:12 lap time.
Mike talked to a lot of crew chiefs down here. This is not a time to be shy. What is the situation with perhaps that threat of rain? You want to go up there and take the car down the racetrack, go A to B, but the conditions right now are so good. You talked about the track temperature, 72. Some crew chiefs told me that this track is almost as good right now, the track I'm speaking of, as Reading was. And remember how good Reading was. The air's not very good, but these guys have a track right now they can sink their teeth into.
Yeah, we saw the atmospheric conditions, and there's a lot of moisture in the air right now, which is taking away some oxygen. So that's the difference in the conditions we saw in Reading. That was just optimum to be able to make horsepower, and you had a very fast racetrack.
Guys are in. This is just an opportunity to improve on that. Tasca 4:14, Capps a 4:15. They don't improve on their time set in the first section, and they will remain 5th and 9th. Ron Capps, the guy that has gone from not qualifying to a win this season. And back in the staging lanes, Cruz Pedregon is not yet qualified in this field. Cruz is definitely in contention, 3rd in the points. Getting in this field is so important. You think he's not nervous right now? And how about this guy, Matt Hagan? He's looking for the championship again. He was doing that last year at this very race. didn't make it. John Forrest did. Remember how dejected? He's probably pretty nervous too.
There you go, big guy.